I just got done watching the vice presidential debate, and I'm here to compare the first presidential debate, and the vice presidential debate. So first, I believe the setup of both debates was rather unfair. In the first presidential debate, you could see Hillary Clinton walking further on the stage to meet Donald Trump. While many people believe that this is a minute detail and has no real effect, um, we have found that politics is quite thematic and people make their decisions not always based on policy but on emotion and feeling, which is not always right, but that's how it happens. Um, Secondly, during the vice presidential debate, you could see that the contrast between blue and red was not always equal. One thing that confused me was both in the presidential and the vice presidential debates, the Republicans were wearing blue and the Democrats were wearing red, which is opposite of what is the norm. Comparing more about the debates, the candidates in the vice presidential debate seemed much more prepared, much more enjoyable to watch, much more composed. You got Hillary Clinton and her cackling laugh. She does not know how to relate well to people. Donald Trump, he can relate well to a few people, but he ends up pissing off the majority of Americans. The vice presidential debate was much more substantive because the vice presidential candidates could focus on the issues and focus on the problems with other candidates without personally offending the other arguer. One thing that I think was the most important between the two debates that was different is the moderators. The moderator in the vice presidential debate seemed to be a lot more strong. She set rigid time limits, and she seemed more forceful in her speech. She also was very fair. Although she asked many pointed questions, she asked them to each candidate. Lester Holt, on the other hand, asked pointed questions, I think one pointed question, to Donald Trump. He asked no pointed questions to Hillary Clinton. Another key difference between the moderators is Lester Holt was a lot more quiet. He didn't want to interrupt the candidates. He seemed kind of timid, which is not good when you're a moderator of a debate. You need to set rigid time limits and make sure no candidate overruns their time. One answer to this is the moderators should be given the power to shut off the mics. I believe that this would create a more healthy debate environment and would help issues to be presented more clearly, even though it is unlikely that any political party at the moment would take that opportunity to focus on substantive issues because they're more worried with the thematic element of politics and not the realistic. Good night, and thank you for watching.